Some research from 2020 suggests that us Brits, in an average lifetime, we spend 110 days looking for an item we've lost. 110 days. There's another interesting stat linked to that, is that on the whole, men, we value our memories more so than women. I think women are probably a little bit more honest in that regard. However, men in an average year, the items that they lose have twice the value. These are stats. There you go. Whilst we're still being a bit silly, I've asked two volunteers, so Paul and Hermione, if you want to come up here, you have no idea what you've set yourselves up for. But whilst we're still being a bit silly, we're going back to Family Fortunes. Yes, you remember that. Okay, so I can't show you that because they're the answers. There's the microphone. Okay, so one after the other, you're each going to give me three answers. You can't choose the same answer. The question I'm asking is, what are the most commonly lost items in the average household?
Keys.
Okay, you'll go, Paul.
I was going to say keys. Phones.
Okay.
Coins.
Oh.
Rings.
Oh.
Oh, gosh. Shoes.
Socks.
Socks. Who loses a sock? Okay, and our survey says... Okay. So, no, you can put it up, Our survey says... Right, okay, so you said keys, that's up there. You said phones, you said socks and underwear. But you didn't say the remote control.
Oh.
Your glasses. Okay, well, thank you very much. We give them a round of applause. So back to the parable Jesus told. A lady had 10 silver coins. She loses one of them. That silver coin, most likely a drachma, was an average worker's daily wage. So quite a significant amount of money. If you've been laboring under the hot sun all day and at the end of the day you don't have anything to show for it, that's going to hit you pretty hard. So when she loses this coin, I mean, she's searching everywhere, high and low. She's, today she'd have her phone out with a torch, looking under the couch. She goes to town looking for this coin. And so when she finds it, of course, she calls together all of her friends to celebrate, because true celebration involves more and more people getting involved. It involves party. So what does this story mean for us then? Because remember, the parables that Jesus told, they're everyday stories, but they have a key spiritual lesson. Well, I've got one lesson for the children, young people. I've got one lesson for you guys, and that is that you are precious to God. You're precious to God. And then I've also got one lesson for the adults in here, and that is that you're precious to God. You're precious to God. God makes the same point 3 times in chapter 15. So you have the lost sheep, the lost coin, the lost son. And whenever in the Bible something's repeated 3 times, it means we need to take notice, because what God's saying is really, really important. It's super important. We're precious to God. He searches high and low for us. And when he finds us, it's party time. That verse 10 again, we can just have that up on the screen. It's highlighted. Count on it. This parable, this woman searching for the coin, count on it. That's the kind of party God's angels throw every time one lost soul turns to God. Hands up if you like playing hide and seek. Yeah, anybody like playing hide and seek out there? Okay, there's quite a few hands. Adults? Okay, yeah, a few adults. This is a bit naughty of me, and I'm ashamed to admit this at the front of church, but sometimes when it's daddy daycare and I'm a bit tired, I'll say to my boys, oh, right, yeah, let's, you guys go and hide then. Let's play a game of hide and. Just hide and, no seeking. And I'm true to my word. I'll go and make a nice cup of coffee, read a book. But Jesus isn't like that. Because we see here God searches and searches and searches. A few chapters later on, chapter 19, we're told from the lips of Jesus, for the Son of Man, that's another way of him speaking about himself, came to seek and save the lost. So as I draw to a close, how does this minister to us then, regardless of our age? Well, whoever you are, young or old, I hope that you go away today knowing, Daniel, that you are precious. You're so precious to God. He and his heavenly search party have been deployed to search for you. And Jesus' death on the cross, I mean, that just shows the extremes that God goes to in searching for you. No distance is too great for him. And you'll remember I said, whoever you are. It could be that you're in here today and you're thinking that God, he wouldn't be bothered about you. I think sometimes we all have those kind of thoughts. And it could be that we're at school and very often we're in the playground or at break time and we're on our own and you see all of your mates, they're off having fun, but we feel so alone. And we don't think that God is bothered about us because most other people aren't bothered about us. I mean, adults, the amount of times that you've been overlooked for a promotion, people not bothered about us. Or the amount of times you tried to speak, somebody's spoken over you, not bothered about us. And so it maybe feels like, why would God be bothered about me when there's almost 8 billion other people on this planet? Well, God is bothered about you. One of his names is El Roi. I've mentioned this before. He sees you. And he's crazy about you. He loves you. He's bothered about you. He knows your name. He knows how many hairs you have on your head. He knows what you ate for dinner last night. He knows what your favorite hobby is. If our God had a wallet, he'd have a picture of your face in his wallet. He's mad about you. Know this, friends. God's bothered about you. Maybe we've come to church today, and to be honest, we don't know why we come. We feel lost. We feel like we're at a bit of a crossroads. We're lacking purpose. We just don't know which direction to go. And maybe that's why we've come. Maybe that's it. We've come because somebody along the way has told us church might be able to help. And so we thought, right, we'll give it a go. Well, if that's you, then according to this parable, you're exactly the kind of person Jesus is searching for. I've come to seek and save the lost, he says. And even so, sometimes we hear this and we're starting to think maybe, yes, he does love me, but then there's this niggling feeling that says, no, I've got to get my life shipshape first because there's so much mess in my life and God won't want anything to do with me as it is. Well, again, because we're told in our parable that Jesus is searching for the lost. It's exactly when we're lost. It's exactly when our life feels like a mess. It's exactly when we're doing things that we don't want to do, but for some reason we can't stop at them. That's when Jesus is searching for us. He loves you just the way you are. You are so precious to him. And friends, this means that when we wander off again and again, there's no place that God can't or won't venture to find us. God never gives up on us because he's faithful. You are so precious to Jesus. Just before I invite Chris and Liz up to pray for us, I'm going to say one last thing. And this is, I guess, how are we, All Saints Peckham, going to live up to this parable? We know that we're precious, but we want more. We want to help God in this parable. And so the question for us is, how can we, All Saints Peckham, help God in his search party? How can we view Peckham with the same eyes and the same heart that Jesus has? Will we only go to the nice places? Will we only speak to people like us? Or are we willing to go to the places that nobody else will go? Willing to speak to the people that nobody else has time for, because they are the people close to God's heart.